Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel and wherever you're watching me from. Thank you so much for being here. So today I'm going to be touching some very sensitive areas. Bear with me. I'm going to talk about trauma, what we've been through when we were a child. If you can relate, that would be so good. And if you can't, it's fine for you to know what people around you are going through. Some people around you are going through. Thank you so much. I will say some of the things you can experience, some of what you can experience and how you can overcome it, or how I overcome mine. I always say things I have experience about and something I've put into practice and something I really know. So in that way, I'm able to flow. It's very important to me that I have first-hand experience. So it's gonna be about trauma. Trauma, maybe childhood trauma, or trauma if you as well was maybe traffic, because most people that watches my video are mainly people and people abroad. I appreciate you so much, even people in Nigeria. So thank you so much for watching. So as usual, let's hit it. It's gonna be a very sensitive one, so bear with me. If you know that you've been sexually abused or molested, like I was molested when I was 5, you know that things stick with you for a very, very long time. It can be that you've healed, all right, and you've moved on. Let me use this example. Let's assume someone lost their mother. I still have my both parents. Let's assume someone lost their mother or their father, and they've moved on. It's a thing you never forget because it happened to them. These people lived with, they give birth to them, and all of a sudden, they're dead. It doesn't matter how old they are or when they died, even if it's 50 years ago or 30 years ago. You see, when they hear someone else's mom or dad is dead, they will always remember, like, oh yeah, I remember when my mom died. It was so, they will always relate to it. For me, I've seen a therapy for it, and I think I've healed. But the thing is, you can never, ever, ever, ever forget. That's one thing so many people don't know. You can never forget it. Every little thing that reminds you of that, you just like, hey, you know what? Hey. And like when I was in a relationship in the past, and this person have low self-esteem, insecure, you name it, is a narcissist, is all this. I'm not saying perfect, but I'm just saying. So when I'm talking to people now, if I see those signs, if I just an inch of it, I'm like, you know what, keep it. I don't need it. So it's normal that I've moved on. It's been 5 years. I've seen so many people, but yet, because that had an impact in you, you will never forget it. Every little thing will always bring it back. So when you've gone through trauma, you've gone through abuse, you've gone through molest, or one thing or the other, you will always remember. So you can have anxiety, you're anxious, every little thing, and you're very snappy, those tiny aggressiveness and anger and mood swing and all of that. You experience that when someone says something, you're upset. And some people say, I don't know why my husband irritates me. And those things can trigger those kind of behavior. If you've been sexually assaulted or abused or molested by a man, and those things can trigger them behavior. Maybe your husband or your boyfriend or someone you're in a relationship with, or a situationship with, when it triggers and they when they just remind you a little bit of that, it just triggers it just quick. This has been like 20 years ago it happens, but it just come back like now. And you're just seeing yourself distancing from that person. And what I would say, what I do, that's why I tell people I like talking. It's my favorite hobby. Okay, talking is healing. And when you know that you're healing from something, it's when you're able to talk about it without anger, without fear, without guilt. Especially the guilt, you know, you kind of feel guilt is one of the symptoms. I want to say to you, you're not the perpetrator. The perpetrator should feel guilt, should feel ashamed. That's not your duty. That's not your job to feel ashamed for who molest you or who do something bad to you. To feel guilt for them. It's not you, it's them. It's not you, you're looking at me. It's them, it's never you. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel ashamed. I know it's easier said than done, but I've been there. I'm one of them. I'm one of you. Okay? I'm one of you. So I've been there. What I do is talk it out. I talk it out every opportunity. I talk it out. If you've been trafficked, talk it out, because it's so hard to be healed from that. You all the time you remember. You know, one thing I suffer from that. When people try to tell me what to do, you're my enemy. Do this. You need to do it this way. I'm like, you know what? No. No, 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 no. It triggers. It triggers. It's been over 10 years. It triggers. It just triggers. All right. You've healed. I've moved on. I've changed so many countries and cities. But yet, when you're somewhere, you just say, you need to do it this way. You need to do this. You're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed. I'm like, you know what? You're reminding me of those people. And I don't want to be around you. And I don't even want to see you. Okay. You can be struggling from that. I really, really, you know what? Well, I want to be independent. I don't want a man to tell me what to do. I don't want anyone to tell me what to do. I just want to be myself. I just want to do my things. I just want to do everything for myself. That's what it causes. It doesn't show that you've not moved on. You're just running away from every little things that will trigger the past memories. You've forgiven them, maybe. You can never forget. That's one thing you need to know. You're a human. You can forgive them and try to move on. You can never forget. And I want to say to you, it does not define who you are. You are not the perpetrator. You should not be ashamed. You should not be ashamed for what they did to you. You should never feel guilt for what they did to you. They should feel guilty. They should hide your face in shame. Okay, not you, them. Try to move on. If you want to seek help, you know, with us, I will always say us, you know, sometimes it's difficult for us to get help. As I don't know which country you are. If you're in Nigeria, I'm just like, my God, who's going to help? Who will understand? You have to find people who understand you, people who've been through the same thing you've been through, and be very open and talk about it. Talking is healing. The more you talk about it, you're healing. You talk about it, you're healing. You're not feeling pain anymore. It's just coming out. That's what a therapist would tell you. A counselor, that's what they would tell you if they want to counsel you. You know, they want to try to help you. They're going to tell you, you have to talk about it. Even a psychologist would tell you, find time to talk about it at your own time. Don't let anyone pressure you to talk. You have to talk. You have to talk at your own time. That's when you should talk about it. When you're comfortable to talk about it. Don't push it. Don't force it. It will not be natural. You will not feel it in your spirit. You will not feel it in you. It would just be like, it's not you. It's still there. It's not going. So at your own time, that's when you talk about it. So that's very important. You're talking about it and trying to. I know they'll say, they might tell you, you need to find a closure. You need to find out why. Sometimes you don't know why. You don't know why they did it. For greed? If you were trafficked for greed or what? If you were molested, how would you get into the person's mind and try to know why me? Why did they do it to me? Why did they choose me? What was it? Was my mother being neglected? Was my mother neglecting me? Was she not careful enough? Did she not care? Why did she leave me? Why did she this? Why did she go to the market without me? You know, like I tell some people, we grow up in the streets. It's not like now we're protecting our children because we're in a very different era now. I use that word. We protect our children. Our children are not allowed to play outside without us being there and being their eyes and being their guardian and their protector that we are. We can never leave them outside. But in Nigeria growing up, your mom is like, you know what? When you come back from school, I put your food here. I'm going to the market. When you come, that's your food is there. You're just in the streets. You're growing, you know, it's the street, the neighbors, everyone that, you know, made you who you are, you know. You grow up, we all grow up in the street. I remember telling my psychologist, there was one psychologist that was, you know, assigned for me. And I remember telling her, I grew up in the street as a child. Really, it's normal. If you're a Nigerian or any African, you grow up in the street, you're running around, your parents don't even have time to analyze, where are they? You know, and we grow up in the street. Now we can't do that to our children because we're in a developed country or another era where we're just like more careful about our children. So you cannot find why, you know, because let's say for me now, for example, myself, if I see the man today, I would never remember him unless I'm told and say, this is the man. And you remember that time because I was very young and then we left there. My mom, my father and my parents rent a house in another place. So I was young when we left there. I will not recognize him today, you know. So it's not your fault. I want you to know that. If you need someone to talk to, if you want to contact me, it's fine. Or you want to contact other people or share your story. See, another thing, social media is a very great tool that you can use for that. And you don't go there to make trouble or to fight or to do anything. It's just for you to go there and tell your stories. Because I believe that when you tell your story, other people can relate to it. It will be healing to them as well. Because now I'm telling you mine now. You know, I think I did a video on my Facebook on Saturday. Was quite powerful. I think I did not know at that time, but people are just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. That's what it is, and that's what I've learned. And because I've healed, let's say 80%, there are some people who have not even opened their page. They can't talk about it. They don't want to think about it. So if you're that person, I encourage you when you're having those tantrum, those, you know, temper, mood swing, and try to calm down, you know, drink water, breathing helps as well. It can make you sometimes suicidal. You know, you're just like, you know what, I'm done, I'm useless, I'm crazy, I'm this, I'm that, everything is wrong with me, every negative thing is, no. No. Nothing is wrong with you, okay? Nothing. It's not you, it's them, those people who did it to you. Your traffickers or your molester or your abuser. They should hide their face, not you, okay? Try to talk about it. Like I said before, social media is a very great tool. Once you've healed, now you can talk about it. You can go on social media and just mind your business and talk about your story. You know, many people, thousands of women will relate to you. Thousands, I mean thousands of women, and will relate to you. So I think talking, my part is talking, that helps me a lot. And breathing is so good. I remember my therapist teaching me how to breathe before I react. You know, sometimes you kind of put that anger on your children and you're angry, you're snappy, you're just upset. It's something bad happened to you, you know, you're always looking for that person to put it on. And when something happened to someone, the most easy thing to do is to be angry with anyone, anybody. You know, find someone to put the anger and the pain upon. And unfortunately, sometimes our children becomes the ones who bears the pain, who bears the beating, which is something I never encourage. I hope when you're feeling that pain, never talk to your children. I remember during my therapy, sometimes I just want to, my daughter like this, and I'll just let her go to bed. When she go to bed, I can think whatever I want to think. I can say whatever I want to say. I can scream in the pillow. I can do all these things. But you don't want to create that environment for your children. You don't want to create that same. It's like you're recycling what happened to you. Your children were not there, okay, when this happened to you. They're absolute innocent. They are angels. You know, they don't know anything. All right, it's like you now, something bad happened to someone, hit your car, you're just going out and hitting people's car and say my car was hit. That's horrible. You get in trouble and for that. So even if you don't get in trouble with other people, you get in trouble with your children, because you know what, those tantrum, they're getting used to it and they're frustrated. They can't talk to you, they can't speak to you. You know what they do? They go to school and act it out. You don't want that. You don't want that. You have to treat them differently. You have to love them. Sometimes it can be hard and say, I can't control it. You should control it by breathing. Okay? Before you act, before you say, you breathe. Okay, you breathe, and don't put that anger on other people or someone else. If you don't feel like talking to people, it's not by force to talk. Sometimes I don't want to take anybody's call. Okay, I'm very playful. My vibe is contagious. It's infectious. You know, my laughter is infectious. But sometimes I don't want to talk to anyone. I just want to be on my own. It's normal. Even people that does not have bad experience, they just have some day and you know, I'm not taking the phone today. I'm switching on my phone. I don't want to talk to anyone on my phone. You know, I don't want to speak to anyone. So if you find yourself in that situation, breathe it in and breathe it out through your mouth. You see, when you do that, 10 times, you will feel better. And then think before you act. This is to everyone. You want to deal with your husband, your whoever it is. Me, I'm more concerned about the kids, you know, because they're innocent and they can't understand what you're going through. It doesn't matter. If they've not experienced it, they can't understand. They cannot relate. You have to know that. And just know that they're innocent. They're not part of they're not part of it. They're innocent, really, no matter how you look at it. So please, you've know the sign now: anger, you know, anxious, mood swing, and not wanting to talk to people. You just want to be on your own. So if you know that you're going through that, I think talking is going to help. Look for a professional help. But if you can't, go for professional help, because I don't know where you are in the part of the world. Maybe you cannot go for professional help. Maybe call someone, you know, and say, oh, I heard you've been through the same thing. I just wanted to talk to you about it. And someone who will understand. They will understand you and know that, yeah, I felt that. Yeah, I felt that way. I know, I felt it. I understand it. I get it. You understand? They just know what you're going through. And, you know, and if you want to get into relationship, make sure these things are related. These things are talked about. You communicate about these things. You talk about it. And because when you talk about it, they will know and know how and to act around you, and not triggers and those memories, those, you know, and those things that makes you and remember what you've been through. So I hope you find peace. I hope you find healing, and I hope you always remember and know that it was never your fault. You were not the perpetrator. You were a victim. Okay, and it depends on where you find yourself. And you realize that I'm not a victim. They are the demons. They are the people who did this to me, and I don't want to be a victim. So I hope you find that peace and you find that love in your heart. Some of you that watch my videos, you know me and you know how to contact me. So if you want to, it's absolutely fine. I might put some of The link is to my Facebook under this video. If you want to contact me or want to get in touch with me, it's fine. And remember, social media is a very great tool, honestly. When you tell your story, people relate, and that will makes you feel really good. Trust me, when I receive messages from people and they're like, what you said touches me, and I feel it, and I know it just makes me like, I want to keep on doing what I'm doing. And people are, you know, are relieved. People are finding themselves and knowing that they're better and they're beautiful, they're amazing. You know, that makes me really happy. Like, yay! You know, women are knowing now that they are powerful, they're beautiful, they're wonderful. They're not a victim. You know, the perpetrator, that's his problem. It's not your problem. So I hope you find that peace and that love and that security and that comfort, and by talking to other people and trying to be a better person. We are all in the process and no one is perfect. So I hope this helped a little bit, and you're beautiful, you're amazing. Thank you so much for watching, and please, if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly do that. Thank you for all your support, your follows, your likes, and your comments. I appreciate that. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day. Remember, it's never your fault.